Do you know which hurricanes have caused the most destruction in history? Hurricanes, nature's most violent storms, are colossal systems of swirling winds and rain that can span hundreds of miles. They form over warm tropical waters and unleash their fury in the form of destructive winds, torrential downpours, and deadly storm surges. These powerful storms can leave a path of devastation in their wake, tearing apart communities, and in some cases, altering the course of history. From the Gulf Coast to the Caribbean, no place is entirely safe from their wrath. The damage they cause isn't just immediate. It can take years, even decades, to recover from their devastating effects. In the course of human history, 5 hurricanes stand out for their unparalleled destructive power. These storms have not only left an indelible mark on the places they hit, but they've also shaped our understanding of hurricanes and how we respond to them. Let's dive into history and uncover the most destructive hurricanes ever recorded. Opening, first on the list is Hurricane Katrina that struck in 2005. Katrina was more than just a hurricane. She was a storm of epic proportions that left an indelible mark on the Gulf Coast of the United States. The storm reached its peak intensity over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico before making landfall, with New Orleans bearing the brunt of its fury. New Orleans, a vibrant city known for its music, food, and unique culture, found itself in the path of this monstrous storm. The city, much of which lies below sea level, is protected by a system of levees designed to keep the sea at bay. However, Katrina's storm surge was so powerful that it caused multiple levee failures. The city's defenses were breached, leading to widespread flooding. Imagine, if you will, a city full of life and energy, suddenly submerged underwater. Streets turned into rivers, homes into islands, and everyday life as we know it halted. The devastation was far-reaching and the destruction extensive. Yet the true cost of Katrina was not just in the buildings destroyed or the infrastructure damaged. The human toll was staggering. The hurricane resulted in approximately 1,200 fatalities. Each life lost, a story cut short, a family forever changed. The monetary cost, too, was astronomical. Katrina is considered one of the costliest natural disasters in U.S. history. The damage was estimated to be in the billions. Homes, businesses, schools, hospitals, the infrastructure that holds a community together, were all severely affected. But Katrina's legacy extends beyond the immediate devastation. The hurricane exposed vulnerabilities in disaster preparedness and response. It catalyzed a national conversation about climate change, urban planning, and social inequality. So, Katrina was not just a hurricane. She was a wake-up call, a reminder of our vulnerability to the forces of nature and the need for resilience in the face of adversity. Closing. Katrina left a lasting mark on the United States, but she isn't the only hurricane to have caused such havoc. In 2017, Hurricane Harvey made its disastrous landfall, a name that still brings a shiver down the spine of many in Texas. This uninvited guest arrived with such ferocity that it redefined the meaning of devastation. Harvey was not just an ordinary hurricane, it was a floodbringer. It made landfall at a Category 4 strength near Rockport, Texas, and then it lingered. The storm's slow movement across the state became its signature, a cruel joke of nature. Harvey didn't just pass through, it stalled over Texas, dumping an inconceivable amount of rain over the Houston metropolitan area. Let's talk numbers to give you a clear picture. The National Weather Service had to add new colors to their rainfall maps to accurately depict the deluge. Over 60 inches of rain fell in some areas, a record for any storm in the United States. Imagine the sheer amount of water, enough to submerge some single-story homes completely. The floodwaters were relentless, swallowing neighborhoods whole, turning roads into rivers and homes into islands. It was a sight that could make the bravest hearts quiver. The flooding displaced over 30,000 people, turning lives upside down in a matter of hours. But Harvey's wrath was not limited to the water alone. The hurricane caused extensive damage to homes, businesses, and infrastructure. The winds tore apart buildings, and the water that seeped into every crevice caused further damage. It was a 1-2 punch that left a lasting mark on the state. The cost of the damage was astronomical, running into billions of dollars. It was a disaster of epic proportions, a stark reminder of the power of nature. But as always, the human spirit proved resilient. Texans came together in the face of adversity, helping each other rebuild their lives, one brick at a time. Harvey was indeed catastrophic, but another hurricane in the same year caused even more destruction. But we'll get to that. For now, let's take a moment to remember the strength and resilience shown by the people of Texas in the face of such a formidable foe. Also in 2017, Hurricane Maria wreaked havoc on Puerto Rico. The tempestuous Maria, a Category 4 hurricane, unleashed her fury on the island, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake. The storm, with its relentless winds and torrential rains, caused damage on an unprecedented scale. Puerto Rico's infrastructure crumbled under the onslaught. The power grid, already strained to its limits, was decimated. Roads were washed away, bridges collapsed, and buildings, once sturdy and secure, were reduced to rubble. The island's utilities, telecommunications, and transportation systems were severely impacted, causing widespread disruption and hardship. Imagine an entire island plunged into darkness, cut off from the outside world, struggling to survive. That's what Puerto Rico faced in the aftermath of Maria. The storm didn't just devastate the physical landscape, it shattered the lives of the people who called this island home. The toll on human life was profound. Thousands of souls were lost to Maria's wrath. Each life a story cut short, every loss a wound in the heart of the community. In the wake of the storm, a humanitarian crisis unfolded. With limited access to basic necessities such as food, clean water, and medical aid, survival became a daily battle for many Puerto Ricans. Yet, in the face of such adversity, the spirit of the Puerto Rican people shone through. Communities banded together, neighbors helped neighbors, and the world lent a hand in the island's recovery. It was a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the will to rebuild and to move forward, even in the darkest of times. The long-term consequences of Maria were and continue to be highly destructive. The storm has left an indelible mark on Puerto Rico, a scar that will take decades to heal. Yet the story of Maria is not just one of destruction, but also of resilience and hope. Maria left Puerto Rico in ruins, but another hurricane brought chaos to a different part of the world. In 2012, Hurricane Sandy left a path of destruction across multiple regions. This superstorm, often referred to as the Frankenstorm, swept through the Caribbean before it made its way to the mid-Atlantic and northeastern United States. The sheer size of Sandy was staggering, affecting areas as far south as Florida and reaching up north into Canada. The hurricane's brutal force brought about significant storm surges. The coastal areas, particularly New York and New Jersey, bore the brunt of these surges, experiencing catastrophic flooding. Communities found themselves submerged, with homes, businesses, and vital public infrastructure succumbing to the floodwaters. The hurricane's wrath didn't stop at flooding. It tore apart buildings, uprooted trees, and left millions without power. The destruction was far-reaching and indiscriminate, affecting both urban landscapes like Manhattan and rural communities along the coastline. The aftermath was just as devastating. Recovery efforts were extensive and costly. The storm claimed numerous lives and left many more displaced, forever changing the face of the affected communities. The damage bill ran into the billions, making Sandy one of the costliest hurricanes in U.S. history. Hurricane Sandy was a stark reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. It showed us that hurricanes are not just localized events but can have far-reaching effects, impacting vast regions and countless lives. Sandy proved that hurricanes could affect vast regions, but one more hurricane outdid them all. In 2013, the Philippines faced the wrath of Hurricane Haiyan, known locally as Yolanda. This was no ordinary storm. Haiyan was one of the most powerful tropical cyclones ever recorded, a record-breaker in every sense. The sheer force of the hurricane was unimaginable, with winds reaching speeds that rivaled that of a high-speed train. The devastation was unparalleled. Coastal communities bore the brunt of Haiyan's fury. The storm surge, a towering wall of water powered by the storm's winds, swept through these areas with a destructive force that was nothing short of catastrophic. Homes, schools, and businesses were decimated, leaving in its wake a landscape of ruins that once teemed with life. But the destruction wasn't limited to property. Thousands of lives were tragically lost in the onslaught. Each one a story cut short, a family torn apart. The aftermath of Haiyan was a testament to the terrifying power of nature, but also to the indomitable spirit of the human race. In the face of such adversity, the people of the Philippines showed incredible resilience, banding together to rebuild their lives and their communities. These hurricanes remind us of the terrifying power of nature and the importance of preparedness and resilience.